entitled Bitch Shows Up Late, Demands to be Seated. This story is from 4 or 5 years ago when I worked for a tour bus company. The story is also more about the ticket sellers than it is me. I just happened to be in the room. I was on my break between tours, just hanging out at the ticket office and schmoozing with customers because it makes them more likely to tip me. I may be shameless, but I will not be poor. Meanwhile, the two ticket sellers are busy dealing with the line of customers who are either buying tickets and drinks or checking in pre-bought tickets. TS1 is ticket seller 1, TS2 is ticket seller 2, both are women, not sure if that's important. EB is entitled Bitch, and HW is Hero Woman, to be introduced later. I'm standing near the desk trying to talk someone into buying one of the city guide books when I hear TS1 say, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but this ticket is for the tour that left an hour ago." EB, we were at dinner. TS1, I'm sorry ma'am, but we're busy tonight. I'm afraid we can't put you on the next bus. There's no room. EB, excuse me? We paid for our tickets 2 days ago. You can't kick us off. TS1, ma'am, whenever we sell a ticket, we tell our customers they have to be here on time because we cannot hold the buses. We have a tour leaving every 20 minutes tonight. EB, someone should have called US. TS1, that is not our responsibility ma'am. As you can see, we are attending to over 40 customers in line at a time and we're on a tight schedule. We cannot hold the buses and we don't have time to call the customers. We explain all of this when we sell you the tickets. EB, no one told me that. TS1, clearly getting frustrated. Ma'am, it's part of our policy to explain that. And I know for a fact that they did explain it to you. EB, and just how do you know that for a fact? TS1, because ma'am, the ticket seller circled where it explained the lateness policy that is printed on your ticket. Asterisk EB, ugh, whatever, just put us on the next bus, then. TS1, I'm sorry ma'am, but the next bus is full. Let me see if we have any openings. She began flipping through the schedule on the computer. Keep in mind, EB is holding up the line so bad that people are now out the door. TS2 is doing her best to keep things moving, but without both sellers checking, people and things are backing up. Looks like we have some room on the 10 o'clock tour. EB, asterisk 10 o'clock? That's almost 2 hours from now. TS1, that's all we have tonight, ma'am. If that doesn't work for you, I can see what we have available tomorrow. EB, we can't do a tour tomorrow, we're going to a wedding. TS1, then I'm sorry ma'am, it's 10 or nothing. If you want, I can refund your tickets or I can see if rival company has any availability on their tours. EB, I don't want to go on their buses. Their seats aren't padded. TS1, then would you like a refund, ma'am? Please. There are people waiting in line behind you. EB, I am not stepping away from this counter until I get on a bus. HW is next in line behind EB and she's just as sick of this bitch as we are. She groans and says, "Oh my fucking god. Look, just give her our seats for the next bus. We don't mind waiting for a couple more hours." TS2, ma'am, thank you so much. Here, step into my line real quick, I'll get you switched over while TS1 handles this woman here. My blood was boiling for a bit, thinking that EB had gotten her way and that was the end of it. But TS2 had more planned and I love her for it. As she's helping HW, TS2 says loudly, "You know what ma'am, for being so generous, kind, and understanding of the situation, I'm going to comp your tour tonight. Thank you so much for helping us resolve this situation." EB is staring daggers at TS2 as she's talking to HW and her face is lobster red. TS2, here, ma'am, I'll comp your drinks, too. Just so you know how much TS1 and I appreciate you for being such a polite and considerate person. And you know what, are you going to be in town for a few days ma'am? HW, my husband and I are here until the end of the week. TS2, perfect. Here, this is a ticket for our hop-on hop-off trolley that goes all over town. This is just another little gift from us for being just so kind. This ticket is good for the rest of the week. So you and your husband don't need to worry about transport in town for the rest of your stay. EB is obviously pissed and very embarrassed. At least I hope she was basically called out in front of 60+ people. She snatches her updated ticket from TS1's hand and storms off to wait for the bus. I unfortunately had the displeasure of being the guide for EB and her husband's tour. She complained for a little bit, but I just spoke louder and stood right next to her and locked eyes with her. That shut her up until the end of the tour at least. Surprise, surprise, she didn't tip. But then I had the pleasure of being the guide for HW and her husband, who I gave a bit of special treatment as a further thank you from earlier. The bus for this tour was only half full, so I had the luxury of being able to be more friendly and personal with my group. I wanted to make sure HW got the tour she deserved.